Hello, I'm Trevor Jones.
I'm April Nyrain.
We're coming to you from Costa Rica, our beautiful semi-retirement home where we have taken to writing full-time.
Full time.
Today is a quick video. We're going to not try to make this too long. We're just going to do a quick recap of dropping the third book in a series. Lord of the Undead, the third book in the Pentakawa trilogy, has dropped and is now available on the Zon and Kindle Unlimited, and an audiobook is presently in production. And as of this date, September 16th, we are in the final strokes of the rough draft before we send it off to the editor.
For Quest of a Goddess.
That's right.
That's the third book in the Knights of Aragon series. The first book is The Blood of Orcs. And we also just had our audio go live for the second book in the Knights of Aragon series, which is Demons, Dragons, and Demigods.
Now, you went with a new narrator this time, and her name is?
Her name is Carly Larson, and she's wonderful. So I've been really enjoying listening to her bring the books alive.
Yeah, one of the hardest things about having audiobooks done is trying to keep a narrator, because there's so much space and time between book productions. You never know when your narrator schedule and your author schedule, everything's going to sync up. So we're really excited about that. And Lord of the Undead is going to be narrated by a new voice as well, Nathan Nash, and we'll have more details about that later. But real quick, this video is about dropping the third book and how that's so much different than the first and the second books.
Yeah, the second book's kind of like the redheaded stepchild. It doesn't get a lot of attention except for a read through until you launch the third book. And when you launch the third book, it seems like the whole series gets a rejuvenation. And you actually also put out an omnibus for your trilogy as well for Pentakawa.
True. The Pentakawa series, with the third book finished, I decided in addition to that, so anyone who wanted to just try the series, the first book would be fine, or they could buy each book individually. But if you wanted to get the whole thing all at once, you could buy the omnibus, which contains all three books and a little bit of a surprise here or there. Nothing
Some bonus
major.
Material.
Yeah, just a touch. Not a lot, I'm going to be honest. But if you're a fan of Marvel movie after credits, it's something like that. But with the third book being done, it sort of wraps a big bow around the first three books. Some people stop at a trilogy. Will you be continuing on?
It depends on what the audience wants. I left it open to do a fourth book in the Knights of Aragon series, but I've been really excited about starting a new series, which is going to be a romantasy series, still set in Kenther, but it was a Green Witch character that I had played in a couple of games, and I was really excited about her. And I've been really enjoying writing the romance side of things. So there's some romance in Elwyn's books, which is the Knights of Aragon series. And I want to move forward with that and see how that goes.
Right. So the Knights of Aragon series was very much a collaborative work where April turned her track sheets, which is the records of actual gameplay, into the rough draft, which made up the bulk of the entire book of 70,000 plus words. Probably 70 of it was the rough draft. And then we collabed together on polish and presentation and vocabulary and turning game mechanics into narrative form and then passing that on to an editor.
Absolutely. And it is difficult to take a game which is not linear, which does not have an over arc, and I mean, it has a flimsy over arc, and then making that into an actual narrative book that is interesting. The Knights of Aragon series is very fast paced. And if you want to know more about the world of Kenther, Elwyn and the Knights of Aragon go all over Kenther and learn all kinds of lore and fight all kinds of monsters. The third book, Quest of a Goddess, is, if you love dungeon crawls, Quest of a Goddess is going to be about it. It's very Indiana Jones-ish, finding artifacts, because she has to find her goddess's arrows, and there's 7 of them. So there's 7 different, very intense adventures in there.
The Pentakawa series is written from third-person point of view because it's the dungeon master turning his world into narrative form. This would be legends and lore that characters in the world would be familiar with growing up in that, just as an American be familiar with Sleepy Hollow or Paul Bunyan, etc. But the Knights of Aragon series, being written from games, is written in first person.
Correct.
And what would you say is the biggest challenge of writing in first person?
Getting the information out there, the interesting information, because if Elwyn, the main character, does not know what had happened, then she can't be a witness to it. So therefore she can't get it out. So there's been some very creative ways to get the information out to you, so that you as a reader know what's happening, but it's Elwyn's point of view. So that's probably been the most challenging part of that.
Excellent. So look for the, when will we see the book drop?
Sometime in November. We've got 2.5 chapters left for author edits, and then we're going to send it off to our editor. He usually takes about 6 weeks, and then we'll go back through everything again. And we'll probably have a book launch. It'll be before Thanksgiving.
Excellent. So just a quick recap. So Lord of the Undead, third book in the Pentakawa series, as well as the omnibus is available, Blood and Dominion, all on the Zon, and the third book in the Knights of Aragon series, Quest of a Goddess, dropping sometime around November. And the second book, Demons, Dragons, Demigods, now available in audio, which means Amazon, Audible, and I think they send it out to Apple as well. So all the A's.
What are you working on?
Well, after we finish with the rough draft, I'm going back to the Adventurers series, those adventurers that first showed up in The Dark Gift, the first Pentakawa book. They had their first book, That Damn Dragon, and I'm now returning to finish that series out with its trilogy. And then if the fans will respond in kind, either Penta or the Adventurers will continue, or perhaps I'll pick up another series. All right. So that's it for today's video. We got this under the wire. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Keep an eye out for more videos. I'm Trevor Jones.
I'm April Nia Rain, and you can find us at kinther.com or on any of the social medias under Chronicles of Kinther.
Excellent. Until next time.
Until next time, keep reading.